How do you deal with a girl's major insecurities? So the first thing to realize is that she acts like a crazy person and does all of these crazy things, these insecure things, because she doesn't trust herself. It's not that she doesn't trust you. She doesn't trust herself to make good judgment calls. So either something's happened in previous relationships, but probably they stem from, childhood stuff. So she didn't have you can say she had daddy issues, but either there was an abusive parent or her dad abandoned her in some way. Either he wasn't present in the household, or he worked too much, or he divorced the mom and left, or he never was involved, or he died. Whatever it is, women often have a difficult time in relationships when they have primarily daddy issues, but it can also be mommy issues. So it doesn't matter. It's whatever happened, and it's created this internal conflict where she doesn't know how to have a healthy relationship because it's never been shown to her. She hasn't had an example of that in her life. And her examples of love relationship, or that what should be love relationship, is skewed because of the stuff that she's gone through. And it's probably been reflected in other relationships before you, if she's had a relationship before you. But if there are a lot of insecurities, there's only so much that you can do. And I'm going to give you a suggestion that's going to sound kind of weird, but the thing is that because she likely had, if this is the case, daddy issues when she was young, then what she's really probably looking for is this is so Freudian, but she's looking for a father figure in a way. So don't get all dirty, pervy on me here, but she needs somebody, a man, who can be solid, grounded, set boundaries, not put up with her shit, but still love her, or treat her well and to treat her with respect. So you have to treat yourself with respect, so she'll respect you, and then you treat her with respect while still setting boundaries. So that doesn't mean you fly off the handle and you get all crazy, or you chase her. You don't chase her. You treat her like a naughty toddler. No, you don't take her over your knee and spank her. Well, you could do that, but you gotta wait till you're in the makeup stage. Otherwise, that's just like going off the deep end there. So essentially, you need to be the man that she never had in her life. And once she can see that she can trust you to be that guy, then she'll eventually trust you enough to stop being so insecure. So be the father figure that she lacked. But father figure doesn't mean complete dominance. It just means standing up for yourself and setting appropriate boundaries and not letting her get away with cheeky little girl behavior, but at the same time allowing her to come back if the behavior changes. And actually another really great book to read is by Dr. Henry Cloud, Boundaries. Boundaries is a book you need to read. And if you are in a relationship and you really need to end that relationship, you should read Dr. Henry Cloud's book, Necessary Endings. So what are the things that a father figure would do? Well, if she is exhibiting bad behavior, there's 3 things that you can do. An example, if she asks you, an insecure question or messages you something insecure, is just completely ignore it. If she texts you and say, "Are you going out with your friends tonight?" and you know that that's a leading question, then you can just say, "No, hey, you want to catch a movie?" or whatever. Just cut it off before it gets any further than it needs to go. So you're going to be teasing and playful and treat her like a bratty little sister and pretend that she's just kind of maybe shit testing you and you're amused by it. So you can just kind of play with it a little bit and give her a chance to maybe come to her senses and say, okay, I didn't want to go there. I shouldn't have said that. You're basically giving her a chance to save face. So an example of this would be if she texts you or says to you, as long as she's not irate, if you can tell, she says, "Are you talking to your ex again?" And you say, "No, are you?" Wink. So that would be your reply. So that's a way of being playful and teasing her and letting her know that you're not doing anything wrong, but at the same time, you want to make light of it so you can move on to another topic. And then the last thing you can do is if she accuses you of flirting with the waitress, you can say, "No, that didn't happen. And if I can't take you out for a nice dinner, then I might have to go solo next time." And then move on. And she will probably freak out. Well, she might freak out, she might not. Depends on if you stand your ground, because she needs to know that you're solid. But at the same time, you need to also not be doing things that are not within the confines of what you both agree are the values of the relationship. So if flirting is okay for you and it's not okay for her, your values don't align. It doesn't matter about her insecurities. You both think flirting is not okay, well, you gotta not flirt. But you have to stand your ground and you have to be able to not let her get away with bad behavior. Even if she walks away. If she walks away, do not chase her. Just go straight into some of my other videos about how to get your ex back. If you even want her back, most of the time, it's not worth getting back. You have to discover that for yourself. And what happens with toddlers when they get disciplined by their dads? They go away, they throw tantrums, they cry. Eventually they come back with their cute little doe eyes and their wet eyelashes all stuck together, and they're super adorable, and they often act like nothing's happened. So you've got to train her how to treat you. And if you don't do it, then she will run the show, just like ill-behaved children. Honestly, guys, I was so insecure. And the problem is that I did have a man who was a father figure, and he helped me get through my insecurities. But guess what happened in the end? I grew past him. I grew out of it. I was like, no longer stimulated, no longer needing what he was able to provide for me, and we ended up breaking up. And I know that is a terrible thing, and it was really painful. You know, the whole time that we were together, there was a lot of drama over my insecurities. And then once we got past that, we had to actually look at what our relationship was really like. How compatible were we? We weren't really actually that compatible beyond all the drama. So if that's you, if you're like with a drama queen because of her insecurities, even if you help her get through all those, there's no guarantee that she's going to stay with you. So you really need to be set, grounded in your masculinity, with your own value system solid in place. Don't put up with shit. A man who can't stand up to a woman can't stand up for a woman. That's a quote from Dr. Robert Glover from the book No More Mr. Nice Guy, which everybody should read. I'll put a link in the comments below for you for that book. Try and work through your insecurities together, because the only way you would be with someone who had that many insecurities is probably because you have insecurities. And the second part of that is that if you don't think you have insecurities, you probably do, or you have ego issues, because if you don't think you have insecurities and you're still rescuing damsels, there's an ego attached to that comes from somewhere in your childhood that you're probably not even aware of, needing to rescue someone. Maybe you have mommy issues and you felt like you needed to rescue your mom, or you couldn't rescue your mom, or whatever happened in your childhood that would make you want to be with a broken woman. So there's some stuff that you're going to have to look at there too. And you might find that you can work through some of this stuff together, because most people are attracted to our emotional equal, right? So we come together in relationships to work through our stuff, and sometimes we're able to get through it together, and sometimes we grow or they grow, and then we move on to other relationships to continue our growth. But the hard work has to be done when you're in a relationship, and you can choose to go as far as you want to go in a relationship, working through your stuff and her stuff, or you can go solo and work on your stuff, or you can go to a therapist and work on your stuff. But if you are with someone who is super insecure, you've got stuff. I guarantee it. We all have stuff. I think I've met one person in my life who didn't really have stuff. So that's how rare it is. So don't beat yourself up, and find some compassion for yourself and for the girl. But at the same time, don't undervalue yourself by staying in a situation that is really, really dysfunctional just to save her, because she might not stay with you, and you're not going to win her over for the long haul just because you help her get through this stuff. So unless you're benefiting by getting through your own garbage, then you really have to look at whether or not this relationship is appropriate and healthy. And if you don't want to be in a relationship with an ill-behaved adult child, then you need to walk away from the deal and work on why you were there to begin with, because there's something in you that's attracted to damsels in distress, not in this dress, in distress. And that's something that you need to work on. And guess what? It's super common. Men want to be the hero. They want to fix things. They want to rescue women. And it's just not it's not a healthy, it's not good. No es bueno. I hope that this is helpful. And if you have a situation that you'd like some advice on, write it in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and share this if you know someone who is going through a tough time with a really insecure girl. And I'll see you next video. I don't know where that came from.